I want to talk a little bit about pain and what I realized. Pain and trauma and the obstacles we face in our life are actually our biggest blessings. And let me tell you why. I was reflecting on that and I was thinking like, man, our pain, the pain that we face in our life, especially in our adulthood, that pain didn't just start with us. That pain was probably something that's been plaguing our lineage for years and years and years. And it got to you in your adulthood for you to try to face it and overcome it, heal it. And it's an obstacle that your lineage, your ancestors, your family, your parents, your grandparents, great-grandparents probably been dealing with for years and were just defeated by it. So now it come to you to try to overcome it and realize that the pain you're suffering is more than likely, I feel like just in general, humanity, a lot of our suffering mentally we're suffering from our ego. We're suffering from our ego, and it's time for us to be still, introspect, reflect, and remember who we are and remember whose we are. We are children of the same God, a God who sees us and loves us unconditionally, irrespective of any financial achievements, awards, houses, cars, women, men, any of that external validation that we often use to measure up our self-worth up against. This almighty divine force that is the reason this whole universe exists and the reason that we are here, that divine force that's beating our hearts and allowing us to breathe. We don't have to think for that to happen. It's a force that's stronger and bigger than us that's allowing that to happen in each moment. We're not in control as much as we think we are. And so I was thinking about our pain and our trauma is our biggest blessing, because if we can get over our ego and remember who we are, whose we are, and that the emotional pain that we're suffering as we have regrets and the shoulda, woulda, coulda, dwelling on things that didn't go right in the past. So the past is gone. So now all we have is right now in the present moment. How can we reflect on our past and learn from it, get the nuggets of wisdom from it, and then move forward and carry on with that newfound knowledge that we've been blessed with, and realizing the truth of the situation. The past or whatever pain that we're dealing with, it didn't start with us. But maybe the biggest blessing in your life or in my life is for me to overcome that pain and realize the pain that I'm suffering is an illusion. It's an emotional illusion. I'm suffering from too much of identification with myself being my ego personality, my ego identity. When the truth is, on a core heart soul level, I'm a child of the universe. I am the child of Almighty God, and He sees me. He accepts me and loves me unconditionally, regardless of what I should have did or thought I should have did differently in my past. No, we're here on this planet. This is Earth School, and we're just here to learn and evolve in the way of our thinking, and the way we see ourselves, and the way we see see the world around us. And ultimately, I think it's to overcome the ego personality identity that we sometimes identify with so strongly that we forget who we are on the pure soul at our core. We forget who we are. We really are the small children that we were when we were free-spirited and just lived in the moment and had fun and didn't care what people thought about us. Just was happy to be alive and just grateful for life, grateful for the small things. That's who we really are on the core level. But as we become adults, we get this programming and conditioning from the external world, molding us into thinking that who we truly are on the core level is this ego personality identity that we've built up in our psyche, that the ego. So we're suffering from the ego. And the problems and the trauma and the pain that we are dealing with today, at least I realize for myself that I'm dealing with right now, is I'm suffering from my ego. And it was time for me to be still and introspect and dissect different parts of my ego that I was attached to so strongly that it was making me suffer, because the truth is I'm not my ego personality identity. That's just a portion of who I am, but I'm also a pure soul, divine child of God. That's who I really am. And to be able to differentiate the difference and let those painful emotions and perceived obstacles flow through me emotionally, and then try to reconcile in my brain and in my heart and soul, and realize that that's not who I am truly at core. That's not who I really am. and to release that, and to release any regret and any sour feelings about the past of something I wish I could have done different with my life, because if you knew better, you would have done better. And that's just that. And release it. Otherwise you'll spend your whole life dwelling and waddling in that. And I don't think that's what we're here for. So that's one of the biggest blessings, I think. And if you can overcome your ego, your identification so heavily and strongly with your ego personality, and realize and remember who you really truly are, if you can overcome that, you'll be healing yourself. But not only just yourself, you'll be healing your whole bloodline. It's bigger than you. Your pain didn't start with you. But if you can get to the bottom, the root of what's causing it, which for me, I realized I'm suffering from my ego identity, judging myself, and just being self-critical. But that's the ego creating it. But that's not who we are on a core level. That's not who we really are. Those are just aspects, personality traits, and things that we've been programmed and conditioned to think that we truly are as we develop into adulthood. But that's not the truth. But that's what we're suffering. So if you can heal that, like I've been working on healing it for myself, I realized that the healing is bigger than just me. The healing is for my lineage, who probably couldn't overcome these mental blocks and obstacles or traumas or belief systems or limited thinking or fear, frustration. It didn't start with me. That's been going on. So my healing, I've been just determined to work through those blocks mentally and heal through them and release them and realize the truth, because it's doing me a justice. It's healing me, and it's healing my bloodline that came before me, and that's the beauty in it. Then you can move forward in your life from that point on with a healthy sense of ego identity, and be grateful for each moment that you're alive, because you'll realize that honestly we're not in control of our life as much as we think we are. It's something bigger than us that's allowing our heart to beat and allowing us to breathe, and that it's important to have gratitude for each moment to moment that you're alive. And that's all. That's my nighttime reflection. Good night. Hopefully it's not too dark. Anyway, if this makes any sense, like, share, subscribe. I haven't been mentioning that, but yes, do it, because this is from my heart. And if this could just help one person, I don't care. I'm putting it out there. Bedtime face and all. Good night. Love y'all. You're worthy. You're enough. You're lovable. And that's just that. Inherently. Don't forget it. Bye.